Hello, YouTube, and welcome to another exciting game of Deaths of Athazar, the card game. And this is a game between Abdullah Harbi and Ziyad Aletwi. This game was played actually at my booth at the Middle East Film and Comic Con in Dubai. This was one of the games I decided to record it because there were a lot of customers who came by the booth, and I wanted to get at least one game for the YouTube channel. And this was one of the ones I was happy to record. I've only recorded three. I will probably get the other two up over later. The Comic Con was over a 3-day period, and this was a game that happened on the second day that I was at my booth. And so, as you can see, Abdullah Harbi had an assassin, a renegade, a magician, a sailor, and a hunter. And Ziyad Aletwi had a sorcerer, a brawler, a wise man, two wise men, and a warrior 7. Again, these players were new to the game. They played this game after I went through the rules and the steps of how to play. So let's take a look at how well they played this game, and let's analyze whether they did the right moves or not, the right plays or not. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so on the pass phase, Abdullah decides to pass the Hunter Sailor, and Ziyad passes the Warrior 7. Now, in this particular case, we usually don't want to try to pass over a killer card as powerful as a Warrior. But again, this is his first time, and if it were me, I would have passed at least one of the wise men because at this point, the wise man is not really useful to him. All right, so Abdullah played first, and he went ahead and had the assassin kill the magician, and Ziyad went ahead and had his brawler kill the sailor. All right, then they do the deal. Abdullah gets a brawler, Ziyad gets a archer. And remember, these guys are new, so they don't really understand how to organize their hands into first, seconds, and thirds. Just looking at Ziyad's hand, he really doesn't have much of seconds. He is holding on to that sorcerer card, which is a good thing because he may need it in the future. And he does have the hunter, so he's most likely going to pass it over again, since it was already passed over to him. All right, so they do the pass, and as expected, Ziyad went ahead and passed a hunter wise man, and Abdullah went ahead and passed the brawler. Okay, and then Ziyad starts the next round off. He decides to play the sorcerer. Now, it would have been better if he went ahead and made the kill of the archer and the brawler, but I guess he felt that by playing the sorcerer, it was going to feed Abdullah an extra card. Abdullah responded by having the warrior kill the renegade. Now, this was a pretty poor kill here. He should have had one of the renegades kill the wise man off, because the wise man is harder to get rid of. At least by having the renegade and the warrior 7, if you look at his hand, he has an opportunity to kill 2 cards out of his hand instead of 1, because he can have the renegade kill the wise man and have the warrior kill the hunter. All right, so but by having his warrior kill another killer, he's pretty much stuck with a hand of disruption cards, and the opportunity of getting a killer to kill those off is going to be less. All right, so we move to the next deal phase here, and Abdullah ends up getting a Djinn, and Ziyad ends up getting another brawler. They do the trade. And Ziyad gets Hunter Wiseman, and Abdullah gets a Brawler. Abdullah decides to play the wise man, and he ends up getting another Djinn. And this was one of the hands that pretty much caused his friend behind him just do a internal gasp, because the odds of getting 2 Djinns in a hand is very, 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 very high. And it's very difficult for him. It's going to be very difficult for him to get rid of both of those, since now he's down to 1 card and 1 working card. And if he has only 1 working card, whatever card he gets on the deal is going to be passed over. And he pretty much has to wait until he gets a card that can kill the Djinn. So Ziyad went ahead and played Archer kills Brawler. Alright. Then they do the deal again. Abdullah ends up getting a Hunter, which was fairly good. So now they do the pass. And Abdullah, instead of passing the Hunter and the Brawler, he just went ahead and passed the Hunter. And Ziyad went ahead and passed the Sailor. I think Abdullah was thinking that maybe there's a chance that he'll get the weakest card from Ziyad, which is probably the Hunter, so he can use the Brawler. Ziyad went ahead and passed his turn, and Abdullah went ahead and used his Brawler to kill the Sailor. Then on the next deal, Abdullah gets a Renegade, Ziyad gets a Sorcerer. Alright, they do the pass. Abdullah had no choice but to pass the Renegade, and Ziyad passes the Wise Man and the Hunter. Now again, once again, Abdullah decides to use the Wise Man, hopefully to get a killer card, but he ends up getting a Sailor. And Ziyad went ahead and tried to put more salt into the wound by playing the Sorcerer and handing him over a Hunter. Okay, then on the next deal, Ziyad gets a Renegade and Abdullah gets a Brawler. Okay, so they do the pass. Abdullah decides to pass both his Hunters. Ziyad passes over the Renegade. Ziyad went ahead and then played the Renegade, killed the Hunter, and Abdullah played Renegade, killing the Sailor. Alright, so again, if you look at this, Abdullah is pretty much stuck with 2 Djinns. It looks like he's not going to be able to get out this situation based on the history of the game so far. So let's just see what happens. Alright, so on the deal, Ziyad gets a Sailor, Abdullah gets a Wise Man, they do the pass. And this time, Ziyad, instead of passing over the Hunter and the Sailor, he just went ahead and passed over the Sailor, and Abdullah passes over the Wise Man. Again, Abdullah uses his Brawler to kill the Sailor. So basically, at this point, what Abdullah is doing is just killing what he's allowed to kill in his hand. I mean, he wasn't getting any cards to kill either of the Djinns. But then Ziyad wasn't getting any cards to kill anything that's in his hand as well. And I think when Ziyad saw that Abdullah had just kept having 2 cards, he didn't realize what those 2 cards were. Alright, so they do the deal. Alright, and Ziyad gets the Magician. Abdullah gets the Assassin card. And the Assassin card would have been a great card to use to kill one of the Djinns, but of these 3 cards, he is only forced to pass the Djinn. Now, this is where the game took a dramatic turn, because Ziyad looked at his hand and had a Hunter, a Wise Man, and a Magician, and I had expected Ziyad to pass a Hunter and the Wise Man so that he can give Abdullah, feed him 2 extra cards for the 1. But guess what he did? He did the one play that pretty much saved Abdullah's game. He passed the Magician and Ziyad ends up killing the wise man, thinking that he was okay. But then Abdullah decides to take the magician and kill off the two Djinns, winning the game. And when that happened, nothing but a giant gasp at the table happened, because when he saw that Abdullah had two Djinns, he was actually a little disappointed that he was beaten by someone with two Djinns. So that was the game, a game of Djinns, a game of the Djinn twins, as they say. And congratulations to Abdullah Harbi and Ziyad Aletwi for coming by the booth to play the game and to experience a new card game. And they loved it so much that both players bought a pack to take home to their family and friends, and to enjoy many more hours of the card game. So that was the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed that little game. Always remember to comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.